The biggest change for the next 5 years, in my view, which very few people talk about, is the fact that China will become the smartest cities and smartest logistic that we can imagine. What we've seen happening in mobile payments and the disruption in fintech and so on, we're now seeing happening in smart cities and smart logistics. This has to do with a lot of things. It's about all these technologies, and I don't know if you're techies, but it's all about 5G, IoT, and all these things coming together at one point. And this is happening now to actually digitize the whole government. I mean, have the whole bureaucracy being digitized, no people. I think in Portugal you would love that. But this is really what is happening in China. But what you also see is the logistics. You see things like blockchain. China has built the biggest blockchain service network in the world, and everybody going cross-border is now plugging into that blockchain network to make it secure. Because trust is one of the biggest issues in China. Not that they don't trust each other, but basically there's a lot of fake stuff and a lot of scams, and like everywhere in the world, it's just China is evolving. And so this is where blockchain is a solution to that trust issue that China has, to show to the world that they actually can be trusted through technology. And then you have the central bank digital currency, which is a digital currency that is basically just like paper money, but you have to use it. So these are all things that is changing the logistics. You have a de-dollarization that is happening between certain countries. You have a lot of things that is happening, meaning that if you trade with China in the future, it's going to go like this. In any minute, you can just send everything through and get paid at every instant. And you don't need letter of credits, you don't need loans, you don't need dollars. It just goes through. And so this is what will happen in 5 years from now. This makes China the factory of tomorrow. Because we often ask ourselves, should we decouple from China? What should we do? Is there a risk and whatever? It's going to be harder and harder. Just because it's becoming the most automated, connected, integrated, and green factory of the world. And when I say green, I don't just mean that the factories are producing more green, but they're also producing most of the green products in the world. And so we will have to buy these products if we want to get our climate 2050 CO2 neutral goals happening. So we will have to choose, do we want to buy from China or do we want to get our climate goals in the next 30 years? This is going to be a tough choice.